Hi, everyone. Welcome to Judith's Jewelry Box. I'm Heidi Ripka, and joining me again this month is Gina Gannon. Hi, Gina.
Hi Heidi, nice to see you. I'm just salivating at how amazing these items are. I'm so thrilled.
I know spring has literally sprung around here.
Feels good, right? I know I'm like, wear a color, kind of have some pops of color. I'm loving it.
I am too. People say to me, I mean, you live in the Northeast like I do. So we
Yes.
have the benefit of 4 full seasons. And so many times people will say, "What's your favorite season?" And I
It's
always,
hard.
it is hard. I have a hard time because in every season, there's something that I love about it.
I agree. Yeah.
But I have to tell you, when I start to see my cat's about to jump on my lap, so I'm moving closer so he can't get
Okay.
um, but when I see the flowers starting to just, like, pop out of the ground, I'm like, "Oh, we survived another winter."
I agree with you. And it's so funny because I actually went out the other night, my husband and I, because I have a little baby, and the weather was warmer. I'm like, "I feel alive." Like, I was like, "I actually feel alive." Like, when it's so cold, you feel like you just wanna hibernate and you don't go out and
Ab
yeah.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I think everyone feels the same way, even though it's kinda hard to really say that anymore because we really are lucky we have mild winters.
That's true.
As soon as I see those flowers and I start thinking pastels and it just it just cheers me up, and so that's why I selected product that really made me feel, like spring. Some of our really pretty soft pinks and soft
Yeah.
blues, and we have so many great things that just kind of embrace spring, so I
I
know
know,
the Montana.
and Heidi, this was the first. So, like, I always get a shipment of the products. This was the first item that I pulled out, and I was like, "Oh my god." Like, I was just so excited because the color is beautiful, and I got so excited thinking of all of the ways people can use this and, like, how they're gonna use it. Yeah, I mean, it's just I'll let you talk about that, though, because it's really exciting.
Yeah, and, we're saying that I brought this here because of spring, but to me, pink is year round.
Completely agree.
And so that is the Montana clip-on. That is something that is classic to the Judith Ripka collection. It's something that she created in the early 2000s and has never gone out of style. So it's a really pretty soft shade of pink. It's a pink bell luce. It's a square cut, step cut stone. So you really get to enjoy the shades of pink, the reflectiveness of when light hits
Yeah.
those steps. It's just really pretty and very feminine, and it has the Judith Ripka signature heart prongs in the corners. It has
Right.
our signature texture on that bale. It's so gorgeous, and when I turn to the side, you could see all the gorgeous detail. I'm, like, amazed at how the jewelers can fit in all those delicate textures into this space, and it's really easy to work. So this one is just a simple hinge. You
Right.
just click it open, you put it on a chain, and then it literally just snaps shut. I don't know if you were able to hear it, but audibly, I could hear it when it closes. So I'm wearing it today on a chain that we're going to look at in a moment, but you could put it on a leather, you could put it on the bead necklace I have on. And I love that you put that on loop and toggle. That's another way that we love to put our enhancers on the loop and toggle. I actually put it on the back of the chain. See, in between
Oh,
the
I
2,
see. Yep.
and that's the nice thing about a chain like that, is it's incredibly versatile. There's no right or wrong way to wear it.
Yeah,
So,
I
you
love
have
that.
to wear it with the enhancer on the loop, you could turn it around, you could wear it with the enhancer on the chain like I have it,
Yep, back
but
here.
on its own, Gina, that is a great chain just to have in your jewelry box.
Well, first of all, the enhancer's stunning, but the chain on its own, what I like, if I can have anything be like multifunctional, I'm all for it. So it's like you were saying, you could wear it just like this, but then you could wear it. Maybe you don't want the toggle. You could wear it just on its own. Like I have, I'll put it up here. You could wear it just like this. But the thing that I love, Heidi, about Judith's pieces, and this is why I've told you the first piece I ever bought was in 2015, and I still have them, is that no matter where you turn, again, even if I'm looking at the back, It's done so nicely. It's done beautifully. So that's what's great. You don't wanna wear the toggle, you don't have to. You still have a gorgeous chain
Yeah.
to be able to wear and to be proud of. But then if it does move, it's like, well, how pretty is that on its own?
It's great. And you know, the other thing that you could do with that, and it'll be easier for you to demonstrate on that neck form than if I was to hold it, is you could take that toggle bar,
Mhm.
pull it through, and make a Y. So you could also wear that like a Y necklace. Just
Oh,
keep,
I see, I see. Yep, keep it on. I see what you say. Yep.
yep. And then do you have it?
Just like that?
Exactly. So you could wear this as a Y necklace, which is a really sexy way, especially if you're wearing something that maybe has a deep V and you want to fill in that space. You could do that. You could still do that and you could still hang an enhancer off here. You could put that Montana and hang it off there. Let me show you. Because it gives it a little bit of whimsy and interest. So it could be on its own or hold on, please.
Like, look at it like that too. That to me is like uber sexy and beautiful. And
Very.
then Heidi too, what I was telling you, just this the little pop of color, the little and again, that's what I was just mentioning, the details, right?
Yep.
Just the little bit on the sides here. And if you like that, you can maybe get some coming up in the show. But I'm sorry, continue. I just wanted to mention
No,
that.
so my point is basically with one enhancer, you can wear it multiple ways. With one necklace, you can wear that necklace multiple ways. And that's one of the beauties of the collection. And I know so many of you watching us tonight are collectors. I want to say hi to all of our Ripkenistas and everyone
Hi.
else. But you know that that's the beauty of the collection. Not only is the jewelry itself beautiful and multifunctional, but there's so many different ways of wearing it. It goes with so many different outfits. And I'm wearing a pink blouse today, but I'm also wearing a navy blazer. And look at how pretty the pink is against the navy. There's so many different ways that you could wear it with your outfits. You could dress these pieces up, you could make them more casual. You want the pieces though to work with your everyday life. You want to have jewelry that you're going to wear all the time and not just leave sitting in your jewelry box. So I think these are two great pieces. And
I
really,
completely
to
agree.
commemorate the start of spring, what could be better than some beautiful pink, a brand new chain, really kind of liven up your spring
Yeah.
wardrobe?
And then Heidi, I also, because I shop JTV all the time. My poor husband is always like, "Why do we have so many packages?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it."
Don't,
But, I know, I'm kinda like, I should have them, like, shipped to my mom's house or something so he doesn't have to see them. But the thing I'm always online looking. This also comes in yellow with red stones,
yeah,
correct?
it comes in 14 karat gold clad. And so the silver one, those are lab created sapphires, where the
Really
clad one,
pretty.
lab rubies. So yeah, and that's just that little touch, that little something else. You know, Judith designs 360 degrees. So even when you look at the ends of the toggle bars, there's always that little hint of magic that she puts into every piece. I love
And I
it.
like how it kind of is like that rope detail, but then it's a rope detail here too. So it kind of all is uniform and goes together, but really beautiful. This to me is couture high end, also like this lariat type look. Um, you don't really see that a lot, so I kind of like that we have the option to do that. I had a lariat piece in my show last week, and I was like, wow, I think this is like the first lariat piece that I
Oh,
sold in about a year, but I like that I can do that and kinda make it however you wanna make it, which is great, and again, I'm a mom now, so, like, anything I can multifunction and wear more than once in many different ways, I'm all for it.
absolutely. And this chain is definitely one of them. And it has like all the signature elements between, like you're pointing out, the textures on here, like the Southampton, and then it has the wrap around it. It has the textured chain. It's just Judith Ripka through and through.
Yeah. This reminds me of a piece that I've had for years, and it's just that classic look that never goes out of style. So and that's why I was saying, like, for my mom and I think between us, we have so many pieces and we mix and match. I'm like, "Oh, I need this, I need that," and then I'll show her my collection, she'll show me hers, and we go from there. But that's just a piece that you'll go, like you were saying, every day. You're gonna go and pull for it all the time.
Right. And what you said is what I think people really appreciate is the fact that you could look on trend, but you're never too trendy. And so with
Exactly.
that, you're investing in pieces that don't go out of style, that you could always wear, that you're never gonna tire of, because you're always gonna find different ways to wear them. So that chain, we have the Montana clip-on today, but there's so many other clip-ons is a Judith Ripka word for an enhancer, but there's so many other enhancers that we offer. So if you invest in that chain and you have an assortment of enhancers, you can keep switching out the looks by putting different enhancers on, in addition to the fact that there's at least 3 different ways of wearing the chain on its own.
It's also nice because then I just have to worry about buying enhancers, not a chain to go along with it and all of that. So it's like you buy it that one time and then you're set. So I actually really love that. And I just want to let everyone know who's joining us on our JTV page. I'm going to be posting the items that Heidi and I are talking about. So if you like them, hit that shop button and do what I do. And I'm going to be shopping after the show. So, but I just want to let everyone know that the items appear on the carousel at the bottom of the screen or that shop button.
So that's if people are following along on JTB Extra.
The extra,
When
correct,
you're
yep,
on
mhm.
the Facebook page, those items won't appear. But if you have any questions about style numbers, by all means, put it in the comments and I will be sure to send you those links myself. So you're not
Perfect.
missing anything. So Gina, if we have a
Love.
answer, don't we want something to tie back to it?
I mean, and the perfect color. That's what I was gonna ask you. Are these, like, considered a match, like a complete pair,
No.
a
So
set?
they're from two different suites. The bracelet is from the Hope collection, and that is, I'm sorry, the Amour collection. And that is a collection that we have. It's an ongoing collection. We're always going to be adding new styles to it. And so this is a Judith Ripka tennis bracelet that what we did was we took the clear Bell Luce, we put them in a square setting. So you have round Bell Luce stones that are prong set in these square settings. So it almost has like an estate feel to it. But then in between, we broke it up by bezel setting pink Bell Luce in the different shapes. So you have your rounds, your cushions, your hearts, your ovals, and your pears. And this is done with a classic box lock, so it's
Yeah,
really easy to put on. It just snaps into place, and then there's a safety bar underneath it. So it keeps it nice and secure on your wrist. I'm wearing it today with our Eternity cuff. I like wearing things layered. You could
mhm.
always wear it on its own. You could see it's a substantial size. It's not too tiny, which is great. But again, not too big where you couldn't feel like you couldn't stack it up. Sometimes I wear it on the same wrist that I'm wearing my watch, but today I decided to stack it here. And this is the Luella watch for anybody interested.
That's
Um,
pretty.
this style is one of those styles that I'm going to keep bringing back in other stone colors too, because I just think it's such a great looking tennis bracelet. I love all the different shapes. It's so unique and so signature Judith Ripka with all the textures on the side, with the way we did the rounds in the square. It has that estate feel, but yet it's contemporary at the same time.
I also love the color of the stone because I do think if you were to use the enhancer with a necklace, this would pair so nicely with that light pink color.
Absolutely.
And not only that, Heidi, what I like is this is neutral. I can wear this with blue that I have on right now because, like you were saying, pink is neutral and it's a piece you could wear all the time. But my favorite cut ever, so my engagement ring is a round diamond in a square setting.
Oh, is it an estate ring?
I don't no, it's not.
Oh,
Um,
that's really interesting because a lot of estate engagement rings, that's how they were set. That's a
oh,
vintage set.
really?
Yeah,
So I just always did that because I thought, my biggest kind of issue that I've always had was I would go with the trends, right? And then I'd have all these outfits and shirts that I couldn't wear in a year because the trend was gone. So that's why I wanted something classic. That's why I love Judith Ripka. But that's what I did. I was like, you know what? If in 10 years I wanna take my, round diamond and put it in something else, I have the option to do that, and
yeah,
so that's why I did that.
that's really
But
fun.
that's what I love about this one. You can see how those round stones kinda play so nicely off that square setting. I
They
love
do.
that.
And again, because there's so many different cuts in that bracelet, it all ties back to pretty much anything that you have. If you have a collection of pink Bellucci, which is
Mhm.
something that is, a mainstay in the Judith Ripka collection, then it'll work back to all your other pink stones. So you could add it into your collection, or maybe you're starting a collection. And this is a great place to start also, because again, it could be worn on its own and you could wear it with other pieces that you've perhaps already been collecting.
But I also love too, again, it's these little details, right, that kind of make a piece a little more elevated, a little more high end. Even the back.
Yeah.
That under gallery is just so nice and so beautiful. I mean, not that this one would turn, but I'm just saying it's still that attention to detail that I feel like Judith always makes sure her pieces have. There's that little extra touch.
Yeah. And so a lot of times we'll put like a full back plate on something. Trying to think if we have one here.
But that's
But
also what I liked about this too.
we keep it open when it's going to be too reflective of the metal coming out from the front.
Oh,
So
okay.
like this, what we do is we open it so that the light will come through, but we make sure that everything is finished perfectly on the back. So we say to them, as much attention as you're doing on the front of these pieces, the pieces that everybody sees, we want you to polish and clean the inside and the back because that's how they do couture jewelry. So you could put a full back plate, if there's any little metal that's like not perfect, it's concealed by that. But when you don't have that full back plate and you need to expose the back, you want your jewelers, your finishers, your polishers to really go in and clean each piece, high polish it as if they were doing the front of it. And so you'll feel this. It's nice and silky and
Mhm.
soft. It doesn't catch on anything on your skin. There's no prongs sticking out. It glides. Each one of these is individually linked. So it's very fluid when it goes on. It just rolls beautifully around your wrist. Really sits so well. And that's a good tennis bracelet. When a good tennis bracelet just flows like this, you know it's been assembled properly.
And not only that, the fact that I can get a Judith Ripka tennis bracelet, on 5 stretch pay of under $60, yeah, add to cart. I mean, a tennis bracelet, like, are you kidding me? So, yeah, I'm
I
obsessed with
think
that.
you need to tell me, Gina, at the end of this, because you said that there's a bunch of pieces that you want. I want to hear what your picks are at the end of this.
Oh my gosh, I have an entire email, so that is not a problem at all. Because I sent it to the JT my our JTV team. I was like, "Hi, can I have all these items in the show?" So, yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
it becomes a little dangerous, but I appreciate it. And
Yeah,
you're investing in yourself at the end of the day,
you
right?
feel good, right? It's that self-care, honestly, it truly is.
It really is. I mean, I know I've said this before, but there's so many times that, like, you're having a bad hair day or you don't love your outfit. But once you kind of put together your jewelry, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I feel a little bit better now. Like, I feel a little more put together. I feel like, no one's going to notice that I don't like love this top or whatever. And all of a sudden, you don't worry because you know that they're going to see the gorgeous jewelry and not the plain basic black sweater that you're wearing or whatnot.
Totally get it. And also the other day, this was, like, the biggest faux pas for me ever, forgot earrings,
Oh, I hate that.
and I felt so undone, like, so that's exactly to your point, kind of like, you can have a bad hair day, you cannot like your outfit. If you have every detail in place in that regard, you're feeling good.
I
Like, I'm feeling good when I have my earrings and my rings and all of that on.
I agree.
Like
And so
this one.
you know what you're wearing? So that is one of the rings that I wore for my wedding.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can see that, really beautiful.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite pieces, but the funny thing is, and if anyone follows me on Judith Ripka for JTV, you've probably seen I wear this ring to go to the movies. I wear this ring just to go to
Love
dinner
it.
with my friend. Like I wear this ring for more than just my wedding and black tie events. I literally wear this with jeans and a blazer, with a sweater, with everything for any occasion because it's that ring it's not too dressy. I'm gonna take it off so you can see it better. But so it's a 3 band ring of pearls. So these are freshwater pearls. And in between each row of pearls is Pave Bella Luce. So it has that little bit of sparkle, but it's not an overwhelming amount of sparkle. And when you go around to the side here, you have all that Judith Ripka texture. So again, it's designed 360 degrees. It tapers towards the back. So you have a
Gorgeous.
sizing bar. It's really comfortable on. Like I was wearing it, I'm wearing it today on my middle finger, but you could wear
Mhm.
it on any finger. It's a very, very comfortable ring. Don't you? What do you think, Gina? I mean, you're wearing it for
Oh,
the first time, I think.
for me, this is the first time. For me, what I was so drawn to, was the pave stones kind of working like a halo, if you
Yeah.
will, in a way. And that's what I kind of like. And it's funny because I say this on a lot of my shows. Pearls were never a go-to for me because I used to always think of, like, my grandmom's pearls, right? Until I started really kind of seeing what is out there for pearls and how stunning they can be and how it's not just a pearl necklace, right? I mean, this is, I think, a way to feel good, to incorporate that classic look, but when you want a little bling and you want, this is perfect. But again, like you said, wear this with jeans and like a really cute top, going out to dinner with your girlfriends. This would be perfect. But, and that's the thing too, because I told you, Heidi, I have so many Judith pieces in my jewelry box that I have worn to a black tie event. But then I'm like, you know what? I need to feel good today. I'm in mom mode. I'm in like yoga pants. Let me throw a necklace on or a piece. And I can do that as well.
Absolutely. And it's funny, you were equating pearls to your grandmother. And so we always would say, not your grandmother's pearls when we would
Right.
pearls for Judith Ripka. And one of the pieces that put Judith Ripka on the map was back in the 80s. One of
Hmm.
her closest friends came to her with a strand of pearls and said,
Okay.
you need to do something to these pearls to make them more interesting, to make them more contemporary so that I
Oh,
want
cool.
every
Right.
day. And so she created something that she called the PN. And people would be like, what is a PN? It literally just stood for pearl necklace.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
There was no computers. There wasn't really a style number system. So we had the PN1, the PN2, the PN3. We had all different PNs. The
That's
PN was
cool.
great because you literally took your basic, like grandmother's pearls from the 50s, and she put a mechanism in them that you were able to mix it with chain. And it really took your simple classic pearls and elevated to another level. But true to Judith, she gave it multiple ways of being worn long, short, you could actually wear it where you take the metal out and make a bracelet.
Oh, wow.
And little secret, sh- well, we're having a Judith Ripka show coming up or a few shows coming up in about 2 weeks on JTV. We're bringing back the
I was just gonna ask you, like, where can I get this and find this? So thank you. Please send me that item number. I
Let me
need
tell
it.
you, it is something that if you don't have it, you're going to want it because it's so incredible. I had mine the other day and I was taking it out and playing with it. There's like, I think I counted like 7 different ways that you could manipulate it at least.
That is so
That's
cool.
that's before you're even putting on like your Montana enhancer. That is just the PN system. So if you're
Wow.
watching and you want that PN, well, I'm going to be posting the show date soon. And when I do, you're going to want to watch because you want that PN. I promise you, you do.
And then
So,
have that a nice addition to it.
and then have this ring match it, and then
Perfect.
you're set.
Yeah.
You just need a pretty pair of earrings to go with it.
But because I now have worked for JTV for over a year, my love of pearls is just, I mean, I love them because they can come in so many different colors, so many different settings and all of that. And again, combining it with pave stones and again, Bella Luce. And I really always say if you've never experienced Bella Luce, you have to try it because they make a diamond simulant pop. It is unlike anything you've ever seen before because they make it so beautiful.
Well, when we joined the JTV family, we needed to see what their characteristics are of the Bellucci stone because we've used diamond simulants before and we had very high standards. And we're like, if they don't meet our criteria, then we're going to
Oh,
have
I
to
love that.
out, but they actually were right on par. So it was like
That's awesome.
the color, the cut, because you can do diamond simulants in different colors. Okay.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't have to have the same kind of clarity, and not all are cut equally. And so for us, it was really important. They were cut just like a diamond. And so they are. So that's why you have all that gorgeous sparkle. I mean, I always say, like, I have a hard time wearing my Belle Luce with my genuine mined diamonds because they actually don't make they make my diamonds look bad. My mind
Oh my god. I know.
diamonds, but not according to Belle Luce standards.
I hear you, and it was funny, I had, a Bella Luce piece on the other day. It was a ring, and I was driving, and I was like, "I have to take this off." Like, I was, like, feeling like I was being blinded, by having my hand on the steering wheel.
Yes,
I
it's
was like,
sparkly.
"Yeah, it is, I know." Um, The next okay, first of all, the fact that we have so many rings in this show though, because like I
Uh,
told you, I'm a ring and earring girl, not that I don't like anything else, but, like, that's the first thing I always go to. It's like,
yeah.
"Okay, I need a pair of earrings, I need, a ring." And we have 3 rings in the show,
I
and Heidi, this shape, this color is just I don't feel like this is something we see a lot, especially a shape like this.
No, it's very unusual for us. So that is a slice of mother of pearl, and it has a halo of the Bella Luce going around it. It has the signature Judith Ripka cherries on the side. So those are 3 bezel set Bella Luces on either side of that ring. And this is a very different ring for us. So it's a low profile. It really hugs the finger, and it has that estate feel. And estate's not new for us. Estate is very common in the Judith Ripka collection, but this style of estate, it really has almost more of a Victorian feel to it,
Mhm,
but really pretty. I'm wearing it on my pointer. You're wearing it on your ring finger. It's one of those rings that could really go on either finger. It's a nice length, but it's not too wide, which is also great. So I'm going to hold it up here so you can see it a little bit better. See all the details. So there you see the cherries on the side. It has the Southampton texture, and we opened up the basket where we have our texture going throughout those bars, but really, really pretty, very elegant, very understated. Look at the luster on that mother of pearl. You could kind of see it when my light hits it, the glow of it. Really
mhm.
so pretty. But when I put it on, you can get a better feel for the scale. So you can see it's a nice size. It's not too small. It's not enormous. It's great for literally every day, every occasion.
And
I'm
I love the mother of pearl, the color too, because it's kinda nice. Nice. Because sometimes you don't necessarily want a stone, if you will, kind of
Yeah,
something like that. So this is nice because it has this opaque type quality, which I like, but then that iridescence of the mother of pearl, which makes it pretty, but not too iridescent, which I like. It kinda leans a little whiter, which is really
yes.
pretty.
It's a beautiful white mother of pearl. So you catch those colors of pinks and blues and greens when the
Yeah,
light,
you do.
but it is a very bright white mother of pearl. Because sometimes, and listen, mother of pearl does come in colors, pink and gray and yellow. You can get it in different colors, but sometimes the white ones can have a little bit of a yellow undertone when it's not meant to. This is a true like optic white mother of pearl, and then you get that opalescent quality to it when the light hits it. So
Yeah,
really
because 'cause I'm not really
very
getting much yellow at all.
no, no, actually mine doesn't either. It's very, very white and sparkly. I'm just yeah, I love looking at the different colors that you could find in it when the
Mhm.
light, that's why I'm, like, looking down, I'm like, "Ooh, really
And I
pretty."
think this is actually really cool though, because I don't, again, this is like a shape to me that I don't really have many things in this shape. So that's what's really pretty. That's like kind of why I was intrigued when I saw this. I was like, oh, how different, how interesting. But again, the thing that I was drawn to was it still had that June Tripka touch.
Always. Again, 365 degrees of design, and
Mhm.
it's always those little details that people, when they see it, they know it. They know when they see you wearing Judith Ripka, they'll say, "Oh, is that Judith Ripka?" And they're like, "I knew it. I've never seen that piece before." But when you see all the texture and you see the little cherries, you know what you're looking at.
Well, what's so funny is when you say like, "Is that Judith Ripka?" I feel like I'm at the point where I'm like, "Is that Judith?" Like, I don't even say her last name. I'm like, "Oh, you have a Judith too?" Like I know her, It's kind of funny. It's like this own community. What did you say?
By extension, you do.
Exactly, there you go. At least in my head, I always did too when I was a shopper for years, buying my first pieces and all of that. It was always exciting.
And it's always important to her that everybody has that feel, that connection, because when we feel connected to something, we really appreciate it more, we enjoy it more. It doesn't feel like just some random thing in our closet, in our jewelry box. It's more special and meaningful.
Yeah, it's kinda nice in a way to know, like, the meaning behind something or to kinda be like, "Oh, wow," like, I appreciate that there's, like, all these little details in it. It just makes you a little more, like, have a sense of pride when you wear the piece.
I agree. I agree. And I see now you have my favorite Bahama Mama.
Mhm.
So the
Um,
Bahama Mamas, again, one of those classic signature styles to the Judith Ripka collection that have been around for probably 20 years, I'd say. I mean, we've done dozens and dozens of color combinations of these, but this one to me, like I said, this is springtime. This one screams spring. You have the kyanite and you have the morganite and you have the milky aqua and then the freshwater
Mhm.
pearls. And it's just such a pretty, pretty design. And we put this on a slightly more modern link. We did this on almost like a paper clip link, I would consider this, where it's high polished. Usually we only do textured, but we did it on a high polished paperclip link and we mixed the sizes. So this is a 36-inch necklace, but we have some smaller kyanite beads and some medium ones. We have the Baroque shaped freshwater pearls. We have the
Mhm.
milky aquas. Then the pink ones are all the morganites. And the layout, when you look at it, it's not completely symmetrical. Like we played around with it. We made it a little different, made it a little fun, mixed it all up. We used our little mixing bowl method, and I'm wearing mine doubled. You're wearing yours long,
Yep.
which looks great. But the other thing that I appreciate on this, the lobster claw, it actually fits into these links. So if
Oh,
you need to
wow.
get around with the length, you could hook it in and just let the tail go down your back, which is,
That's so pretty. I
yeah.
didn't even think of wearing it like that. That's so nice.
Yeah, I always appreciate flexibility, and so this is one of those styles that you really can do whatever you want because you could hook it anywhere or, like I said, double it.
And, again, too, those little details, I also think that the lobster clasp is even done nicely as well, so that's even really pretty, where, again, if that were to move, like, if I were to move it, and I kinda like that it's slightly uneven with
Yeah,
the stones, that's really pretty because as I was doubling it, I actually thought, "Wow, how pretty that you can see, like, oh, a little bit of detail here, a little bit of stones here." There's just something about that where it's not truly that perfect, kind of in line that I love about it. So pretty.
it's great, and so I layered it today actually with the chain that we started with this morning with the Montana clip-on because I like creating my own look. I like creating layers. I like making it look a little different, and so for me, I doubled the Bahama Mama,
Mhm.
put the chain on underneath it, and I clipped the Montana to it. But this is clearly substantial enough to wear on its own. You could put the Montana on it. So depending on how you shifted the necklace, you
Right.
could easily put the Montana on one of the sections of just chain, let it swing from there. You could probably put it on the lobster claw too. Let me just double check
That's cool.
myself before I say that with certainty. Yes. So
I
even
also like the different shapes too, but continue, so sorry.
no, I was saying, even if you wanted to put it on the claw, you easily could. There's just so many different ways that you could wear it, which is great.
Yeah, I also like to what I was drawn to was that you have smaller stones mixed with bigger, like, that to me also kind of creates, like, just nice texture on top of you being able to wear it layered as well. That
Yeah.
kinda creates, like, a little extra to me.
And the mixture of colors, the pink,
Mhm,
blues, and the white, not only does that feel spring, but again, it goes with everything. So yes, I decided to put on in the spirit of spring,
mhm.
pink color camisole, wearing it with my navy blazer. So it kind of picked up the colors, but you could wear it with anything. I mean, I'd
Yeah,
throw
they're
right.
very neutral.
It's very neutral. I mean, there's just so many colors that you could pull out of it. And I think sometimes people are afraid. They feel they need to match the colors perfectly, but you don't need to.
No,
You
let
know,
that be the pop, maybe I wear black a lot, we talked about that. Um,
and I have
and
to
this would
I love the periwinkle on you. It's a very pretty color. It
Thank
brings out
you,
your
thank
eyes.
you. Thank you. Well, when I saw that we had purple blue items in the show, I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
I have to wear something to pick it up perfectly because I was obsessed with them." But thank you. But I always think about, my husband's always like, "All you do is wear black." But I think how great this would be against black because it would give me that pop of color and it would go with white, black, whatever you wanna wear. Like, again, what I'm wearing now, it's the perfect addition.
I completely agree. So this is a necklace I am a big, big fan of because I really love having a necklace that has so many different ways of wearing it, has the color built in. It is that statement piece, so where the chain is your classic piece, your jewelry box essential. This is a statement. This is
A
something
little
that's
more
really
fun, yeah.
like on its own, like a very unique, special piece. And then you could put it together, wear it separately, but
Yeah,
it's
and that looks beautiful on you, how it's, like, just how it's falling and layered, looks really pretty.
and it's comfortable. I mean, it's really
Mhm.
easy to wear. I don't feel weighed down. Sometimes a necklace can be too heavy, but it's not. It just feels good against the neck. The beads feel good. The chain feels good. It all works.
Yeah, really pretty. Um, and this piece, Heidi. Okay, this is not only beautiful, but easy to wear.
Yes, always. The
Done
hinge
so well.
cuffs are the best. So
I'm
that
sorry, or did you wanna get to this piece next?
oh, sure, why not?
Okay.
Wearing it, I love
I
it.
didn't want you to think I was rushing you or anything.
No, so this is the Jubilee cuff. It's inspired by the couture collection called the Eternity Collection. I think before I might have even called it the Eternity cuff, but it is the Jubilee cuff. And so this is a highway style. So if you have any of our highway rings, then this works back to it. So it's how many bands are on here actually? Three, five, one, two, three,
3, 4,
six
5,
bands.
6. Yeah, 6.
6 bands. So it's 6 bands that all cross over like a highway does. So you have your berger texture, you have high polished, so you have that nice juxtaposition of your highs and lows
Mhm.
because you have that really high polish. And then when you have the berger texture, it's muted. It's a little bit softer because that texture kind of absorbs the light as opposed to reflecting it. And
Hmm.
then you have a lot of glimmer with that one band of the Pave Bella Luce. And we're talking about how sparkly that Bella Luce is. It really pops on here. So this is a great cuff on its own. It's a nice width. You were saying it's easy to put on, and that's an understatement. I mean, ta-da, it's done.
Right.
I always wear the hinge on the inside, by the way. I always feel it looks more polished when it's on the inside facing you, but there's no wrong way. And then I layered it with the tennis bracelet we were looking at
That would
earlier.
be so pretty. I know, what a nice combo. What I like is that it's giving me that layered look without wearing anything else. So I
Oh,
think that's what's so pretty. And I kinda like too how the piece that has, the Bella Luce, it kinda sits the highest. So I don't
yep.
know, there's something about that that I was really drawn to. And again, texture, you have shiny, you have the stones. It's kind of everything you want in a bracelet. I mean,
It's
it's just,
all in one.
yeah, it's really beautiful. What I like too, low profile, it really fits my wrist
Yeah.
nicely. It's not too high. I like how it kind of hugs that.
Yeah, and so if you have an average wrist, this is an average size wrist, this is gonna fit perfectly. If you have a small wrist, you should be good on this also. If you do have a slightly larger wrist, this might be a little tight. I just like to always make
Mhm.
everybody aware, but I think if you're average to small, you should be good. Now the tennis bracelet, on the other hand, I would say is average to a little bit bigger because when I look at it, it does have a little bit of extra space here, but it doesn't hang too low on my wrist. However, I think if you have a more petite wrist, it might be a little too big on you. So just if
Okay,
anyone's
good to know.
considering those pieces, just keep that in mind for sizing.
You know,
Um,
the really good thing too, because my mother-in-law does this a lot, on our JTV website, there's a lot of times a try-on feature, and a lot more details as well. So if you're like, "What size does it come in?" Just always go to the website,
yeah,
put the item number in, and that will always come up, and I love that try-on feature. That's such a
yeah,
really
no, it's
great feature.
helpful to have that try on feature. It's funny though. Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, is that what it's really gonna look like? And it's usually pretty good.
Mhm. No, but at least it gives you something, like, for example, like, we're having someone, kinda help us with our home. We're, like, remodeling a little bit, and I'm like, "I need a visual, like, I need to see it. I can't just think of what it would look like." So it's kinda nice that, before you have the product, you can try it on,
I,
at
I
least some way. Yeah.
it's nice that we have these modern conveniences to help us make our decisions.
No, I know. I know, it's like it makes it so easy for us anymore. It's like you almost don't even have to think, um but
Like,
yeah, I'm all
well,
for it.
you were sparkly over there with your blue Olivia ring. I love that.
Oh my gosh, this like so it's funny because I told you I get, a bunch of shipments coming. Okay, this one and this one. I was like, "Oh my god." Not that I don't love everything else, but, you always have a couple little favorites that you're
Oh,
like, "Oh my god,
that's why
this
I
is
said
so
I want to know
me."
your picks by the end. What are your
Oh,
picks
yeah.
for buying?
Oh, definitely. I have mostly my majority of my Judith Ripka collection are rings, and I have one that is very similar to this, but what I was so drawn to was there's kind of, like, no outside,
Yeah,
this is kind of on its own, and I thought that was just so pretty and unique, and
yeah,
then, of course, you have those you call them cherries, which I love,
yeah.
and again, it's kinda has this see-through element, which none of the other rings I have do, so I really, really love this, and the color's beautiful.
So this ring, the Olivia ring, is direct from the couture collection.
Mhm.
One of our best sellers for years. We've done
I
it
can
in
see
so
why.
many different colors, including this one, which we've always called blue quartz. It's a simulated stone, and it's the prettiest shade of blue. And what's so special about it is we were always known, and we still do, a lot of special stone cutting to make it really unique. We didn't want to have what everybody else in the industry was doing. So, what Judith designed was this cushion shaped stone where you have an exaggerated table on it, meaning
Mhm.
it's flat but bigger than usual. So, this is a cushion cut with a flat table. Then you have the faceting along the edge of it. Okay. So above the girdle, but it's going around the perimeter. But then on the back, you do have more of a classic radiant, but really more, actually, I'm looking at it again, and it's not really radiant. It is a checkerboard. And the beauty of that is it helps to conceal the full window. Because if we mimicked it on both sides, you just see your skin straight through with like a tint of blue. So we did this checkerboard cut so that it helps the light kind of bounce off it and conceal some of that window and really make it so that you're seeing more of the color,
Yeah,
more
and
saturated.
what's interesting now that you just said that, I can see, the facets, from the inside, and as I'm looking at the ring, you really see the depth of it.
Yeah,
You can,
yeah.
like, see it come out, which is so pretty, but oh
It's
my
so
goodness.
pretty. And like you said, it
Add
has
to cart, add to
cherry,
cart.
it has the four cherries going around. It has our signature Berger texture, and you have your little bezel set Belle Luce
Mhm.
on the sides. Kind of a split shank. There is air in there,
Okay.
but it has very little. And instead of being full split shank, you have two rows of high polish, run one row of berget down the center. But again, this is the exact couture model. So you're getting really a couture style, but JTV prices, which
Sign me up. I know, 5 payments of 19.99. How? Like, oh my god, I'm like, "Ah!" That's why, again, I was so excited,
I mean,
because that
outrage.
means I can get one. I can get one for my mom, I can get one for my mother-in-law,
And
so
you know,
that's why I was so
that
thrilled.
Bahama necklace. So even though the blues are
Mhm.
not the same, they're all tonal. They
Correct.
all work together, and that's
Oh,
why I
yeah.
put all these together. I'm already showing my ear. So this is the next item we're going to look at, which is the
Yeah.
coordinating earring. And one
Mhm.
of the things Judith would always say is that the pieces coordinate, but they're not matchy matchy. So here we did a round version. We did the earring in a round. But the cut is also different. Let me take this one off to show everybody a little bit better. So here, we did a round shape, and we did that rose cutting on the top so that you have, like, a little bit more dimension. You have your 4 sets of cherries, this beautiful pave top. It has a lever back, which
Mhm.
I always appreciate for a few reasons.
Mhm.
1, because it makes sure that it ensures that the earring is going to sit well on your lobe, so it's sitting upright, it's not
Mhm.
flopping forward because it has
Mhm.
that strength. It's not too tight, by the way, right, Gina? It's
Not
like
even a
not
little bit.
squeezing your
Mm-mm.
lobe, which is also something that we pay attention to. So when they're assembling these pieces, we tell them how much space we want them to leave between the lever and the back of the earring. The
Wow.
other thing that's so great about that lever back is that you don't have to worry about dropping a butterfly. It's so much easier
Mhm.
to put on. You just put it in your ear, you push it, it's on a spring, and it just snaps closed. And so it's such an easy earring. It's that little pop of color which is so pretty this time of the year. And
I
again,
agree. Oh my God. This to me is that earring that you're gonna always kind of go to in your jewelry box because I think I was telling you in our last show, I sold it, we had a green bracelet in there, right? And I wore it with navy. And it's
yeah,
like green and navy, but it's like, yes, because
I
that goes
love,
so nicely. I know,
well,
me
I'm a
too.
girl, so I love
Okay.
mixed green with things all the time.
And because I'm on TV, I have 1,000 different shades of TV blue. So I'm always drawn to blue. But what I like about this is I think of myself wearing these earrings for a wedding where I have kind of maybe like, open a little bit, showing my shoulder. But then I'm like, I can wear them to work too. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of what I like about these is
Wear
I,
to wear it to anything. Tell me one thing that you can't wear those for.
well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
maybe
there's
working,
true.
but
Right, yeah. Although you'll be the most fabulous person working out, so, I agree.
you said something that's also true of these earrings. You're a guest at a wedding, you could certainly wear them. That bride who needs something blue,
That is perfect, I didn't think
I
about
mean,
that,
it's
yes.
earring for a bride to wear. It's like the right size, it has just enough sparkle, and you all need that blue when you're getting married.
You
So,
do. Something
here
it's
you go.
funny because
All right, a ring on your other hand.
love it. The earrings that I actually wore for my wedding were the exact same size. I did not go with, like, a big earring because I
Same,
just wanted something classic and
yeah,
simple, but wow, yeah, that is gorgeous, and I like too that you have the cherries because that kind of adds something to the blue stone and kinda
yeah.
gives it a little detail, so from afar, it's like, "Oh, well, what is that? What is that, stone?" And then you can kinda show them and say, "Are you a Judith girl like I am too?" Because that's what I do.
Well, again, there's nothing basic about anything in the Judith Ripka collection. She always
So
adds
true.
that special touch, that special element, that little sparkle. I mean, I'll always, always remember it's ingrained in me. Whenever she would be working on a design, she's like, Heidi, we always have to add a little bit of glow. There's always got to be a little glow.
Mm.
So these earrings have that glow. It's not too much glow, it's just enough so that when the light hits your face, it bounces off here, just that right amount of sparkle, though, for every day, for every occasion.
You're right, and I'm obsessed. I'm like, "These this and this, please." I'm ready.
An enhancer.
Yes, and yeah, enhance. I know, I'm kinda like, "What don't I like in the show?" But
I
it's
think
kind
this
of
is gonna
everything.
be for you, actually, us doing these weekly shows because, everybody, if you're not aware of this, starting this month, Gina and I are going to be doing this every Wednesday for
Yes.
from, at 8 o'clock. And just the only times that we're not going to do it, Gina, is the weeks that I'm on JTV. So
Okay.
either you'll catch us on these live streams or you'll be catching me on JTV. But Gina, we're having so much fun. I can't wait for our next one next week.
Oh my gosh, same here, and I saw again, some of the items in that show. Oh my god, I love, 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 love. And I will show you all of my favorites on our JTV website of all of our, Judiths, and I'm like, "Add to cart, add to cart."
Too. And if anybody needs any information, by all means, Heidi Ripka at jtv.com. Gina Gannon's also, you're on
Yes,
Facebook, right? Or just,
correct. Facebook, Instagram, everything, yep.
so just if you have any questions, just be sure to tag us so that we know to see them so we could always answer you. We always want to be able to help you out with your selections. But Gina, this was another great show. So thank you so
Yeah.
very much for spending some time with me and everybody else for joining
Oh
in.
my gosh, thank you.
And we'll see you next Wednesday.
Yes, we'll see you then. I had a ball. Thank you so much. We'll see you
Thank you.
soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.